Hello and welcome back to another incredible installment of Niche Radio with your favourite hosts Owen Duncan and
Connell Taylor.
Hello and welcome back, and we'll be talking about everything geeky, nerdy and delicious, all coming up soon. Hello and welcome back to Niche Radio every Wednesday from 6 till 7 on Fab Radio and on Saturdays as well. So how's everyone doing?
I'm very, very good. How are you?
I'm okay. I've had an exciting day. How was yours?
Mine was very, very full of sci-fi.
Excellent.
Why was yours exciting?
Well, it was exciting in kind of a bad way. I woke up with a steaming hangover, was a bit late for work, missed one of the tram I was ideally going to get, and then I had some guy chatting to me at the tram station about nothing in particular for a long time, and then got to work and I thought everything was okay. I work at a comic book shop, so things could be a lot worse. But then I got farted at. Now I don't know
if that's unfortunate. Did someone fart in your general direction?
They did fart in my general direction. Yeah, they did, and it was a bit of an odd experience. Not something that I'm very familiar with. It was just I'm sure it was an accident. I'm sure he didn't mean to, but yeah, it was definitely aimed at me, whether accidentally or on purpose. So yeah, I feel a little bit sullied. But that's
maybe he was miffed about a previous purchase.
Maybe that was his sort of retaliation, like the ultimate anal revenge.
I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, so it's been an interesting day. Yeah, so I'm glad to be in the studio now, in our little TARDIS studio, chilling out and kicking ass and taking names.
As am I. My whole head is completely full of sci-fi after a wonderful day full of sci-fi. As some of you may know, we did our 1 year anniversary show last week. So this week's show would be our episode 1, season 2, I guess. So
a whole new world.
So I decided to write all the quizzes for this season, which we're doing in 3-month blocks from now on.
Yeah.
All today. So I've written God knows how many questions, whatever 13 times 5 is.
That many. Oh, a whole bunch. Well, we've got tons of new stuff coming up for you today. But first of all, here is the new amazing Niche Radio stab.
Fab Radio.
You're listening to Niche Radio here on FabRadioInternational.com, going out live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. repeated every Saturday evening at 9. If you want to join in live with today's show, tweet us anytime during the show at Niche Radio.
Hello, this is Ian McElhinney here, Varys and Selmy, The Game of Thrones. Tune into Niche Radio for everything sci-fi, comics, cult television, and gaming. Welcome to the Age of Rat.
Hello and welcome back to Niche Radio. Later on in the show today we've got an amazing quiz coming up. The hardest one yet. If anyone's been playing along, I'm going to have my work cut out for me. Also, we'll be talking about Buffy, we'll be talking about Star Wars, we'll be talking about many, many things. And of course, the late, great, incredible Christopher Lee, who we love dearly, and a great loss to the entertainment industry.
It definitely was.
Yep, the saddest news. But first, without further ado, we'll have some cheerier stuff. Thanks very much. Here's all the new stuff coming out today.
What's new? What's new? What's new in Forbidden Planet?
So this week in Forbidden Planet Manchester on Oldham Street, please pop by and say hello. We have got tons and tons and tons and tons of new stuff. First of all, though, let's start with the graphic novels. There have been a real bevy, a decent selection that I'm a little bit jealous of. This is the curse of working at Forbidden Planet. Anytime someone buys something, I'm adding stuff to the mental shopping list. But yeah, so this week we've had the Annihilation Conquest Omnibus. Yeah, a big, massive Marvel graphic which would keep you busy for ages. Also, Deathstroke Volume 1, Captain America Streets of Poison, Clockwork Angels, Gotham Academy Volume 1, Star Trek New Visions, and much, much more. But we've had in the comics this week, DC have finished their Convergence big crossover which was mashing together worlds and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So now they are rebooting again and starting some brand new titles for you. So we've got Black Canary #1, Doctor Fate #1, Harley Quinn and Power Girl #1, Justice League of America #1. And then another less DC-ish news, we've had Archie vs Predator, issue 3, Buffy, issue 16, Deadpool's Secret Wars, issue 2, Mad Max Fury Road tie-in #1, Last Days of Magneto, Minions #1, complete comic, devoted to the Minions from Despicable Me.
That sucks, and let's never talk about that again.
Well, you haven't read it, we'll have to find out. It could be one of the best things yet, right? Probably not. Old Man Logan 2. Also, Runaways issue 1, we'll be talking about that later on. Ghostbusters Get Real issue 1, a good jumping on point for anybody who is a fan of the old school Ghostbusters cartoon. And also one of my personal favourites, Thor's #1. Not one Thor, but a whole bunch of Thors. Also, we've had Star Wars issue 1 and the Darth Vader Star Wars issue 1 director's cut with all the extra bits and bobs. Looks really fancy, loads of different artist sketches. And things that weren't used in the final cut, just to beef out your Star Wars knowledge. And of course, everybody's favourite, Zombie Tramp.
Zombie Tramp.
Zombie Tramp.
What is Zombie Tramp?
It's about a zombie tramp who's a undead girl who is a bit of a tramp. That's kind of it.
Tramp like homeless or tramp like...
Oh no, more like a tramp, like
50s sexual
like you'd use
connotations.
like you'd say slag or slut. That kind of, sexually promiscuous. I think she's a stripper in it. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's
Like
very
zombie
cerebral.
strippers.
Yeah, very deep, very entwined plot. And talking of zombie tramps, I should give a big shout out to Scarlett, who's listening in for the first time. Hello, Scarlett. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello, Scarlett.
Also, other stuff that's new in Forbidden Planet this week. We have had loads of merch, but the cherry picks are the Darth Vader Mythos statue, which is Darth Vader with his helmet off, which is all lit from the bottom as well, like as if he stood in the flames. And that looks pretty epic, and it stands about 6th scale, so it's, I don't know, maybe 1.5 to 2 feet.
How gruesome is his head/face?
Oh, his head/face is pretty gruesome, yo.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's all like, he's all like pallid. He's got the scars, a couple of those little boil things going on. Yeah. It's pretty gross, and I would recommend it for any collector.
I want to see it. Take a picture for me.
Okay, we'll do. Minecraft Lego, we've had tons of different ones of those, some of the newer sets, and we've had restocks of the older sets. So if anyone wants to make pixely shaped things out of pixely shaped Lego, then this is for you. Also, Big Chief Sherlock figures. These are ones, they're very, very realistic, almost like the Hot Toys ones, action figures that are of Sherlock, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, and his little mate as well, Watson, played by... I can't remember it. I'm looking at Connell as if you're going to put it out of a hat.
Janis Joplin.
Brilliant. Yeah, played by possibly Janis Joplin.
And her stunt double, Charlie Dimmock.
Okay, excellent. I think Charlie Dimmock should get a mention in every show. Do you not think?
She will.
Oh, good.
Season 2 is Charlie Dimmock season.
Excellent. I do hope she's a fan.
How could she not be?
Well, she's obviously got excellent taste. Not in bras. Vader's Little Princess statue has come in. Lots of Darth Vader statues. So yeah, it's Vader's Little Princess, which is the cartoon, the comic written by Jeffrey Brown, illustrated by Jeffrey Brown, which is kind of cutesy Star Wars things of Darth Vader and little Luke and Leia kind of bugging him and playing around his feet. It's very, very cute, very sweet, and there's now a statue of it as well. Brand new out this week. Also, loads of t-shirts if you like Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course you did. You have excellent taste. Then we have tons of new t-shirts in stock, including Groot ones. We've got Rocket Raccoon ones. We've got a few hoodies. We've also got all of the Game of Thrones House Crest t-shirts back in a whole variety of sizes. So if you've been following Game of Thrones like what we have, then you will definitely want one of these. And we'll be talking more about Game of Thrones later, because Shock Horror on Spoiler Alert will be spoilering it. So there. Can you think of anything new in Forbidden Planet?
No.
Okay. Oh, there were Flash socks. If you're a big fan of Flash, if you like the TV series or the comics, then you should probably get some Flash ankle socks. Only $3.99. Ding! That was my teeth glinting because I'm an excellent salesman.
I should know. My name is Max. Which, if you're as nerdy as me, is a Doctor Who reference.
Okay. Well, Next up, we've got the niche review. Unfortunately, we haven't recorded our jingle for it, so I'm going to leave it to Connell briefly while I just go and get the article which I will be niche reviewing today. Because you've got to sing the amazing song, right?
Excellent.
Yeah, just stall them for a bit. They won't notice.
How to do radio on the niche review. Niche review. We'll be telling stuff to you. The niche review. The niche review. He's got his bag and now he's gonna sit down and tell stuff to you.
Oh yeah,
That was like Pat Sharp.
just like Pat Sharp. There's a whole lot of fun, prizes to be won. It's a real crazy show where anything will go.
I'm slightly concerned about saying anything about ex-childhood presenters, just in case they got caught up in.
Yeah, although to be fair,
I'm never sure which ones did and didn't.
yeah, to be fair, we're radio presenters. So I mean, is it the radio that corrupts people? We'll talk more about that next week. So today on Niche Review, I would like to review a comic. It's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 10, Issue 16. And it's by Christos Cage, Rebecca Isaacs, and executive producer Joss Whedon, who is our favourite. And he is a dreamboat.
He's certainly a dreamboat.
He is. On the front of this, there are two different covers you can have. My one's got Spike on the front, and I read it on my lunch. And in this particular issue, lots of problems arise from Angel coming to town, and Spike and Buffy are now in a relationship, which was very good for those of us that call ourselves Spuffies, which means those that like Spike and Buffy's relationship, nothing else. And also, so Angel has turned back up, caused lots of friction there between the entire Scooby gang. Giles is still a teenager because he was resurrected, and it's all pretty crazy. They're trying to kill an ancient vampire, which is meant to be like the grand vampire of Spike and Angel and all that lot. So he's putting thoughts into their head, trying to make them all bloodlusty again, and it is revealed that there is a portal opened to various hell dimensions that this old demon has the power to. But the biggest part of it is the funny kind of awkward thing that Spike and Angel have together, especially when Spike and Buffy break the news to Angel in person for the first time that they are in fact an item. Angel gets quite uppity about it because him and Spike always have this kind of childish boy rivalry, especially when it comes to Buffy, who they both fancy.
Is it? I think it's the third from last episode. Buffy, where Spike finds out. No, it's the penultimate episode when Angel comes back and they've got that miraculous moment when they kiss just after she kills the priest, the preacher even, and Spike has Angel's face drawn onto a punching bag. I think
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yep. So all in all, the Buffy series in comics has shaped up to be absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to the finale. The artwork has been consistently awesome, and if only this wasn't radio, I could be showing you it right now. But I'll. Willow gets poisoned. That was a pretty scary bit. Yeah. In fact, just leave me to it for a bit. I'm just going to read this again. See you guys in a sec. Yep. So that's Niche Review. That was the incredible Buffy series, which has been amazing from start to finish because Joss Whedon is great. So there. Right?
That's an understandable way to finish off any debate.
I think we should give that particular comic and the comic series as a whole so far of season 10 of Buffy. I'm willing to go out there and give it 9 niches out of 10.
9 niches out of 10. We need to make a niche award.
We should make a niche chart, I think, and we can list all of the things we've niched over the years. And when people eventually, if anyone hears about this Joss Whedon chap, then he can put on his CV was once awarded 9 niches. And then maybe, who knows, maybe he'll be a big shot director one day.
That would be a good selling point.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we have some larks. So coming up next on the show, we have tons and tons more stuff. If you're listening to us here on Fab Radio International, please tune in every Wednesday from 6 till 7 for all the geeky news and new stuff. Or you could subscribe to our very own YouTube channel, Niche Radio, or follow us on Twitter. But we've got tons more coming up for you later on. We have our randomly selected Actor of the Week section, spoiler alert, what if, and who would win in a fight, and plus very, very much more. But first up, here's some of this.
You're listening to Niche Radio here on Fab Radio International every Wednesday, 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. If you want to listen again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Niche Radio, or follow us on Twitter at Niche Radio.
Fab Radio.
Ladies and gents, we're back on Niche Radio for everything geeky and fantastic. We are your hosts, the incredible Owen Duncan and
Connell Taylor. Next up, we have the Niche Nights Niche Radio quiz. So, go grab a pen or stay on your keyboard. Here it comes.
Whoop.
Quiz. Quiz.
Quiz.
Quiz. This part of the show we have a quiz.
Way.
So, everybody, Scarlett, everybody else, grab a pen.
Hey, Teflon, are you listening? Because I want to hear your answers for this. You need to help me out because this is the hardest quiz yet, so I've been told, and I can tell I'm going to fluff it up. So I need your help.
You've been saying this. I think you actually might be alright on this quiz. Like I say, today my head is full of sci-fi. I have I've written about 60, 70 questions in general. Probably actually about more like 200, and chosen the best of the best for our show. The first one isn't actually that hard, and it's kind of designed towards you, so you might be alright.
Ooh, alright.
But anyway, Niche Radio listeners, grab a pen, grab a keyboard, have a beer, anything you want. Question 1.
Uh-oh.
What is the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything?
The ultimate question?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
What is the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything?
Alright.
Question 2. In Buffy, what is Spike's other nickname? In Buffy, what is Spike's other nickname?
Okay, I can definitely get that one.
This is good.
If
Question 3. Who is the author of the Discworld series
Oh,
of novels?
you said this was going to be hard. I've won this already. What do I win?
My affection.
Oh, nice.
It's hard to come by.
And
Question
you're
4. Ian Holm plays Ash in Alien. What is different about him? In the film Alien, Ian Holm plays Ash. What is different about him?
I'm not sure I fully understand the question. What is different about him compared to the other characters, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Character is Ash in
okay.
Alien.
Okay.
For a slight clue, a very similar character is played by a different character each time in each Alien film.
Oh, all right.
And question 5. Question 5 is going to be a true or false on the remainder of this season's shows. So, true or false? And remember, this is why my head is so mashed full of sci-fi today, because I thought it'd be a good idea to do some true or falses. So I researched loads of facts, interesting trivia, and realised, actually, I've got to make half of these up. So some of them, I went to some really warped ones, and then realised I want to make them actually a challenge. So hopefully I've worded them where you're not sure which way it goes. We'll find out. Question 5, true or false? In Battlestar Galactica, when Laura Rosling goes to the doctors to find out that she has cancer, the ship from Joss Whedon's Firefly can be seen landing through the main window. Out the window, when she's being told she has cancer, you can see Serenity landing. True or false?
Okay, I've got an answer for that as well. Okay, so ladies and gents, you all know the format. If you are quizzing it up, then you've got only a few seconds to write down your answers, because we'll be running through the answers very, very quickly after this short commercial break.
this is Ian McElhinney here, Varys Selmy, The Game of Thrones. Tune into Niche Radio for everything sci-fi, comics, cult television, and gaming. Welcome to the Age of Rat.
So how did everyone do?
I won.
What I'm hoping for is, if anyone's listening, for example, Scarlett, anyone from Geek Pride, anyone in general, Teflon, Jordan Frayne,
Big up. Big dog.
Claire, girls,
Girls.
guys, anyone.
Swoop.
If you get all 5, write in, tell us on Facebook or Twitter, or go onto our YouTube channel, more importantly, and subscribe there, and tell us how you did.
Yeah.
If you got 5 out of 5 next time I see you, I'll give you a hug.
Yeah, I mean, if you did better than me, which seems likely in this quiz, then you've earned the right to gloat. So let's hear him. Come on, I want to see how right I was.
Right, have you got your answers?
Yeah.
You ready? Question 1. What is the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything?
See, now I know that's from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. However, it's been a long time since I've
It
read,
is from
watched, or
Hitchhiker's
listened
Guide.
to. And it's been a long time since I've read, watched, or listened to it. So I can't remember, and I'm a bit ashamed about that. So I've written why, because I was feeling a bit deep, but it's not.
It's not. The answer is, and you should be ashamed both as a nerd and a Mancunian now,
And a person,
and a person.
yeah, and a sausage.
Earthling, you're not a sausage. The answer's 42.
No,
Of course it's 42.
Isn't that the answer? That's
No.
the answer.
That's the question. And then they did the same process again and asked what's the answer.
No, it's the other way around. Then in the book, isn't it that they're looking for the answer to?
No.
Oh. So I would have put 42 if you said answer, but then that would have been wrong as well, right?
That's why it was an ingenious question.
Oh.
Question
Okay.
2. And already off to a bad start.
Well, I still get all my credit points back though as a geek and a human being, because I knew it was 42, but I didn't put it because you phrased the question like a sneaky, I don't know, velociraptor. More about
Alright.
them later. Okay, cool.
Question 2. In Buffy, what is Spike's other nickname?
William the Bloody.
It is William the Bloody.
Oh, I've got
Congratulations.
one right. Okay,
Bing,
what a
bing.
roll. Bong.
Question 3. Who is the author of the Discworld series of novels?
Is it Terry Pratchett?
It is the late and great Terry Pratchett.
Whoop, whoop. We're losing all the great people with white beards recently.
We
is
are.
Santa
It's
going
a terrible
next?
shame. I have a new girl working at my work called Santa.
Really?
Yeah, it's exciting.
That is exciting.
If anyone wants a job, if anyone's named Alfie and wants a job, regardless of experience, I will give you a job. Just so you can hang out with her. Come to my work.
My pressure's killing me, man. What about question 4?
Question 4. Ian Holm played Ash in Alien, but what is different about him?
Actually, my alien knowledge is awful. It's just absolutely rubbish.
Have a guess of why a sci-fi character in a sci-fi movie might be different from all other sci-fi characters in the future.
In the future, is he from the future? Oh, okay, that was a random guess.
Yes, but they're all in the future.
Oh, okay. So does that count? Well, what I've written down is that he's sent there from an outside governing body.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
He's an android.
Is he? I watched that recently as well, but I must have fallen asleep before the end.
He's an android.
Did they tell you that in the film?
Yeah, but they don't really go into it much, which is cool. I like it.
Ah,
It's
so they're
just
just
one of
like-
those normal. It's a tool.
Yeah,
He's
so-
a tool.
he is a massive tool. Yeah. If it wasn't for him, they would have been safe from all those aliens. Yep.
Also,
So-
big up John Hurt.
Oh yeah, definitely big up John Hurt. Please don't die. Although I heard something in the news today actually that was very sad about John Hurt, that he's actually ill. So
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I hope you get better soon, John Hurt.
yeah. Too right. We need some classic British actors left, please.
John Hurt is, I believe, the only Doctor, the only person who's played the Doctor who is still alive, who is older than Doctor Who. I'm pretty certain that's correct.
Isn't Doctor Who like 3,000 million years old?
The
so John
TV
Hurt-
series.
Oh right. I was gonna say, good work, John Hurt.
I'm pretty certain that's right. Please look it up and tell me if I'm correct or not. But
Okay, so far I've got 2 out of 4. This isn't boding
Terrible.
well.
question 5. True or false? In Battlestar Galactica, when Laura Rosling goes to the Doctor to find out that she has cancer, the ship from Joss Whedon's series Firefly, Serenity, can be seen landing through the main window. Can you see Serenity landing in Battlestar Galactica.
during that scene. Well, I've said false. I know that Serenity does turn up as a little kind of tip of the cap, but I think you're being a tricksy questioner again, and I think maybe it does turn up in the background, but not of that scene. But now you're going to prove me wrong.
It's true.
Oh!
It's that scene.
I thought you were playing the old switcheroo on me.
Wunderbar.
Okay, so today I don't get my usual Final Fantasy VII victory theme to reward me for getting all 5 right, because I only got 2 out of 5 right.
In fact, you
I
get
demand a
the
recount.
brand new Niche Radio failure theme. You suck.
That is the lowest score I've got so far.
It is.
So this is the first episode of a new season, a new dawn for Niche Radio, and already I've ruined it. I couldn't think of a word then that wasn't very sweary. Well.
I like to see that you're passionate about this.
Well, yeah, it means a lot to me. These quizzes, this is an international radio show. I am bearing my lack of knowledge to the entire world.
It's true. You're seen as the forefront of sci-fi knowledge in the Western world.
I will now be ridiculed. Yeah, I mean,
no longer is this true.
Yeah, no longer. So, ladies and gents, thank you very much. That was some quizzing. You're listening to Niche Radio, where all the raddest stuff happens, and we like to have a nice time, because let's face it, everybody likes to have a nice time. And coming up, we have tons and tons more for you, don't we, Connell? We have loads and loads more.
We have lots and lots more. I believe if this was Mjolnir. No, if this was Asgard, you would no longer be able to pick up Mjolnir.
Oh, come
after
on,
that
don't
quiz.
rub it in. I've already admitted to being awful at these quizzes and not knowing anything about sci-fi stuff. I'm an imposter, okay? I just want to be at home watching the footy. Is that too much to ask?
Odin would be ashamed.
Oh, shut up.
You're listening to Niche Radio here on Fab Radio International every Wednesday, 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. If you want to listen again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Niche Radio, or follow us on Twitter at Niche Radio.
Fab Radio.
Hey Owen, should we talk about a randomly selected actor of the week?
Alright. Hi. So, what's happening?
I think we're kicking ass at radio is what's happening.
Yeah, damn straight we are.
If I go kick some asses, do you want to take some names?
Yeah?
And I'll sit here chewing gum.
Yeah, well, but we're all out of gum.
Oh, damn.
So, today we're gonna choose a randomly selected actor of the week, right?
We are, although this week's isn't so much randomly selected as completely respected.
Yeah. Oh, nice, that rhymed as well.
Thanks. This week we are going to be talking about Christopher Lee because he unfortunately died the other day.
Of respiratory
10 days
problems.
ago. Yeah, it was a long time coming. I think everyone who was a fan of his metal, his recent musical.
Yeah,
outburst.
91 wasn't it when he did his first? He was 91 years old when he did his first metal album.
Was it 91?
That's something I read. Yeah.
He did two
No,
metal
I
albums.
mean not 1991. He was 91.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's pretty full on. That guy rocks.
Those videos might as well have, like, all he's doing, playing I don't know, guitars. It's pointy and it looks metal as F.
Is it a Flying V? Because those are usually pretty pointy.
It was I know a Flying V, but it had bits sticking off it as well. A metal
nice.
Flying V.
Oh,
A
nice.
Metal X.
Totally brutal.
Metal X. It was a Metal X guitar. And for those who don't know guitars, I now do, and that's what it was. Shut up.
Cool.
All he did was sit on like a high stool, talking over playing guitar, and it was still more metal than most other metal I've ever heard. It was brutal. It was just Saruman chanting hell at you.
Yeah. Well, I was going to get to this. What's your favourite role of Christopher Lee? I mean, I think mine's Saruman.
Mine is probably Saruman as well.
Yeah.
Even though he's a bastard.
Yeah, but he's brilliant in it. Have you seen the newest, most recent Hobbit film?
I've not.
He features heavily in that, and it is absolutely incredible. It's the best bit.
I was reading about it today. It looks really awesome, but I've not seen yet.
Mm.
There's a third one, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
third instalment, yeah. But yeah, I mean, from a guy who was like, a Hammer horror pioneer, one of the biggest faces of the Hammer horror era in films, and I mean, since then he's done so much, such a busy career. And he was quoted as saying that he I can't remember who he paraphrased now, but he wanted to die with his boots on, was what he always said. So he'd just keep on working until he dropped.
He was a hard worker. Like, he started making films in the early 60s. From the early 60s till, unfortunately, 10 days ago, he made 278 films.
That's rather a lot.
That's just acted in. He's accredited to a few more for different reasons for helping out. But he acted or voice acted in 278 films. That's ridiculous. That's how many? Who does that?
That is really,
Fair
really
play, Chris
impressive. I mean, and apart from any of his acting prowess, which of course is there in abundance, we don't really have to talk about it. Everyone knows, everyone's seen him. But his voice, that voice could crumble mountains and melt the hearts of a generation.
So everyone obviously knows he was Dracula. He was the original Dracula in '66, and a few Dracula films after that. I think there were 3 with him in after that, 2 or 3. Do you know how much he had to do with Tim Burton?
No? Is it a lot?
Loads. He was in Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Bergeness. I think I'm pronouncing that character right. It's been a while since I've seen Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
I looked it up today.
So it's like you're saying Bergenips.
Yeah, he played Bergenips in Sleepy Hollow.
Brilliant.
He was also voice acted in The Corpse Bride as Pastor Gelswells.
Right, okay.
What else was he in? He was
in Wicker Man, wasn't he? That's not Tim Burton, but still.
True, he was in that too. He was in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the Tim Burton one, as
his
Dr.
dad.
Wonka. Yeah.
Yeah. That's creepy.
Badass. It was. It came from Hammer, as you said, but he did have the perfect. Just that look of, you didn't know if he was old, wise, but jaded, or bad look about him.
yeah. There is a kind of foreboding. He's got presents by the bucket load. He stole all the presents. But yeah, he's gonna be missed.
He really is. He was also the first High Chancellor in the Golden Compass. Philip Pullman. Well, what was the book called from the Golden Compass? Was it Northern Lights?
Yeah, the first one was. Yeah.
And they never turned. There's 3 books out there, and they never turned them into the trilogy.
Yeah.
Which
apparently
they were awesome.
Yeah, the first film bombed though. I don't think it was a bad film, but anyway.
I remember going to see it at the cinema. It was the first film I ever saw where I read the book first. Not a massive reader. I read what I like. Not massively. I watched that. I was excited to go see it, and I thought it was really true to the book. Dead excited to see the rest. Started reading the next ones, and then found out they weren't going to make the films. I gave up on the books, as it happens.
Huh.
Strange. He was also in Captain America 2 in 1979. So
right.
a different version.
Okay, yeah, the old school ones, right?
Yeah.
Huh. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, me too now. Obviously he was in Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Count Dooku, what an imposing bad guy. Legend.
He is also creepy. And obviously voiced him in Clone Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, what an absolute legend.
Yeah, a very prolific and very geeky kind of, which I think gives him a certain integrity, don't you think? Because he's not just done any film that's been offered to him. The ones especially ones he's most well known for, these hugely iconic sci-fi and fantasy ones. I mean, I'd say the 2, at least in recent years, the 2 most iconic characters that he's really made his own have been Count Dooku and Saruman. And I mean, in the world of sci-fi and fantasy, if you say fantasy, the first thing that should be on your mind is Tolkien. That is. I mean, despite whether you prefer the stuff, he is the creme de la creme. He's the one that kind of piled all the different mythologies into his kind of brand of fantasy, of high fantasy.
I can't really argue that. I'm going to throw in Terry Pratchett as well.
Yeah, but I mean, that's I think that's a different cat of eggs. But yeah. So he plays one of the biggest characters in fantasy. And then he also plays one of the biggest characters in one of the biggest franchises of sci-fi as well, in Count Dooku. The guy's a legend.
He was. I
think I've said that a lot today.
I read lots today about him, and like I said, he was in so much Tim Burton. He's pretty much in everything Tim Burton did with Johnny Depp, which is most of Tim Burton.
Yeah.
He voiced
Was
the
Danny
Jabberwocky.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the Jabberwocky. That's in fact my favourite poem. There
Yeah?
you go.
This
Yeah.
is good.
'Twas brillig and the slithy toad, etc., etc. And all
So-
the rest, I can't remember.
Full respect to Christopher Lee, and sounds like a daft minor point, but it's the thing I most respected him for. I did a lot of research about him today, and it mostly was just the things he'd been in and the work he had done. There was no randomness about him. There was little trivia. The thing which he had most in common in all of his acting parts was he had a beard. He just seemed like a guy who was a hard worker, got on with the job, did his job, and probably went home and had his tea.
What about his Secret Service time though? The guy he's got a shadowy past.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, when Peter Jackson in Lord of the Rings asked him to imagine that he's being stabbed in the back, like that, like the bit where he gets stabbed in the back, he said, "I don't have to imagine that," because alluding to the fact that he'd been stabbed in the back, he was part of a Secret Service that he never talked about in any of his interviews. He never denied it, but just said, "Well, look, we're sworn to secrecy. We're not going to talk about it before, after, during, or anything." Yeah. So, and it was meant to be like pretty kind of James Bond-esque by the sounds of it, because he's never talked about it. It's never been talked about what organisation he was involved with, but it was certainly a British Secret Service organisation.
Fascinating. I suppose. When?
Well, back in his younger days, I suppose, before he fully got into the acting career.
Like post World War II, I guess. Must be. It's not that old. Actually, maybe
he was pretty old.
He was 90.
But yeah, that was another thing.
98 when he died, I think.
Yeah, it was meant to be.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was a multi-layered guy, but at the same time he was very humble and modest about it. You know, it just kind of was such matter of fact. Oh yeah, it was an old job, kind of thing.
That's exactly what I got out of today's research, and you just said about I want to dye my boots.
Yeah.
What an absolute hero.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is it. I think we should, before we were doing our niche radio, we were giving out niches to our niche review Buffy comic this week. I think we should expend all the other niches we've saved up on giving Christopher Lee all the niches for an amazing life and career.
I'm going to give him a 68 gun salute, which I believe is the highest possible amount of gun salutes we can give in this country.
Sweet. And I will put forward that if there is an afterlife that he's in, if I get to join him in it, hopefully Valhalla, then I'll buy him a pint. Or I suppose in Valhalla you get 3 pints. Okay, I'll fetch him the first pint. That seems fair.
This seems fair.
That'd be great. I'd love to go for a pint with Christopher Lee. Coming up later on in the show, we've got more stuff. Like, what would you do if you went for a pint with Christopher Lee? That's for the rest of the show. In fact, the rest of the season. But coming up next, we're going to do a bit of a spoiler alert, because there is lots to spoiler this week, so be warned and be scared.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
In Quantum Leap, Sam Beckett never actually makes it home.
Shut up!
There we go. So today we're going to be spoilering tons and tons of stuff. I want to spoiler a couple of comics I've read today, because they're neat. They're really neat. I was very sceptical of these particular Marvel comics, but now after reading them I can confirm that they are both boss, mint and slightly rad. But then there's more important stuff to be spoiled this week.
Well, we're going to quickly say we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones shortly. We'll talk about some comics first. But I think everyone knows Game of Thrones can throw out something every now and again which is quite large.
Yeah.
So we'll give you a few seconds notice just to close your ears, put your hand over your head if you've not seen the last couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Before we say it.
Yeah, because it is full of big spoilers.
Yeah.
So
don't be scared. We won't just throw it out there.
no, I'll say spoilers really loud.
Ned dies.
So, what we've had this week, we've already gone over the Buffy issue 16, which was a big deal in Buffy lore. And also, today I've read Thor's issue 1, which is a comic with every single Thor ever imagined in every Marvel universe ever marveled. So,
Pretty curious about this.
yeah, it's great. It's a kind of gumshoe detective story. So the Thors are essentially a police force for this new kind of universe that they've created in the Secret Wars thing recently on Battleworld. So there's the Ultimate Universe Thor with the big clunky hammer, and Beta Ray Bill, who is kind of like an 80s sci-fi Thor invention, who's a horse-faced dude from another planet, who is worthy to wield a similar Mjolnir. Anyway, so the two of those are find some murders, a string of murders, a serial murderer who has completely stumped them. They have no evidence, they have nothing going for them. And the other Thors, which include Storm from the X-Men Thor, Frog Thor, basically every Thor you could possibly imagine. Odin style Thor. If you like Thor like I do, it's great.
So everybody in the Marvel Universe turned into Thor.
Oh, no. This is just all the different Thors from every universe Marvel has ever created, crammed together in the one universe. Which is kind of what the Secret Wars event they've been doing is all about. Just getting every character they've ever invented, smooshing them all together in a big, literally 2 Earths, 2 planets collide, and then they kind of see what happens.
Cool.
So, I think ideologically they're just throwing all the ideas they've got, all the characters they've got at the wall and seeing what sticks / sells. But it's working out very well. I mean, as cynical as that sounds, it's been brilliant stories so far. So yeah, the Ultimate Thor and Beta Ray Bill are trying to crack the case in a very kind of like almost like noir detective style, and they're aided by their intelligent frog Thor, Forensic Frog, which I thought was brilliant. Frog forensics. So he's the one in the lab doing all the tests and stuff. And so that's been absolutely great. Loads and loads of fun. I would recommend that to anybody. Also, now this is big news. Tank Girl issue 1. Anyone who liked the 90s Tank Girl film, or of course the Tank Girl comics, now is the time to get back into them, because they're famously written and created by Jamie Hewlett, who is a very, very big part of the Tank Girl universe, making it what it was. The series has carried on without him, without his direct involvement since then, but those projects have been criticised for not having that kind of initial zest. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's everything that you wanted from Tank Girl. It's rude, it's ridiculous, and it's full of loads of different little mini stories. Now that Jamie Hewlett is back on board, the art is very similar to the artwork that you would have had in the original ones. And of course, Jamie Hewlett has gone on to do work with the Gorillas as the most famous thing. And it's that artwork style back in the Tank Girl universe where it belongs. And number 1 was amazing. It was loads of fun. It was a celebration of all the Tank Girl fun from previously. All your favourite characters turn up. And then I read Runaways. If everyone liked Runaways, originally the idea was Brian K. Vaughan write an amazing run, and then Joss Whedon took it over later on. It was a great series, and this Runaways number 1 Secret Wars tie-in isn't great. I'll just put it out there. It was a poor imitation. They put in one of the characters from the original thing and then kind of passed it off. And kind of blended it in with an X-Men School for Gifted Youngsters storyline that wasn't very good at all. And then also I read a bit of Old Man Logan, which is the Secret Wars tie-in, which is the absolute bomb. It's the one I want to read a lot more of. So I've read the first one. The second one is out on shelves today, and that is great. It's a kind of a futuristic Wolverine after his powers have started fading, so he's getting old and grizzly now, and popping his claws hurts quite a bit, and he's been through a lot of stuff.
Why are his powers fading?
Because although he has this healing factor, it doesn't make him completely invincible. Eventually his cells will stop regenerating as quickly, so he ages just a lot slower than anybody else. That's the theory anyway. Yeah, so that's been absolutely brilliant. But I think out of all of those, if you want some Nordic charm and a bit of Asgardians, go out and get yourself Thor's issue 1. But then in other spoilers, how about some Game of Thrones? Now's the time to shut your ears if you haven't watched the most recent one. Okay, ears shut. Jon Snow's dead. There we go. And now you know, or everyone knows the pain of everyone who's read the books first and already knows that the last thing that happens to Jon Snow in the books is that, which is annoying because we've been waiting all this time for the series to catch up, and now it's caught up, and I'm gutted.
Yeah.
And also there was a creepy paedophile bit that really wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
That wasn't ideal. But yeah, we're not going to spoil it too much, of course, because a lot of people haven't watched it, and everyone who was going to watch it probably has watched it by now because it is that big news. But there is so much stuff going on. It's left at a dead end, pretty much. A proper cliffhanger.
So that's the end of the series?
Yep, that's it for now. Lots and lots of death. An entire army that was one of the biggest contenders for the throne wiped out. Many of like the lead cast kind of in disarray, scattered across many continents. Nobody really knows what's going on. The only thing that everyone does know is that if they don't stop the weird White Walkery zombie chaps, everybody's completely and utterly screwed. So that's kind of and lots more death as well. Dear, Jaime Lannister finds out that his daughter, who's not meant to be his daughter because it's his daughter from incest with his sister Cersei, she knows that he's her father and is quite pleased about it. As pleased as he can be born from incest, but she likes him and she's kind of glad that he's her dad, and tries to reassure him that it's not super weird or anything. And just as that happens, you get a very heartwarming kind of father-daughter moment, and then she dies.
Oh.
Like literally in the same second. There's a lot of death. So I really want to know what's going to happen next season. I really want it to just be next season now, because there's no books for me to catch up on now. I've read the graphic novels that have come out. I'm out of Game of Thrones, basically. I've wrung it dry. And now I'm going to have to wait at least a year to find out what happens to these characters, because most of the plot lines have caught up with the books now. Most of them, not all. So yeah, there's lots of questions left unanswered. But fortunately, Connell hasn't watched very much of Game of Thrones, although I've spoiled a lot for him. But hopefully he'll forget all that by the time we've watched all of it from season 1 onwards.
I probably will.
Yeah. Can we do it together? Can we do that,
so
can we do that
far
tonight?
I'm on season 1, and my favourite character, Ned, is being wonderful.
Yeah, let's hope he unites the Seven Kingdoms and makes a new era of peace usher in.
That's what I'm hoping for, otherwise I'm going to stop watching it.
Yeah, aren't we all?
I like those dogs too, they're nice.
Oh,
Dogs are
yeah.
good.
I like dogs. Do you like dogs?
No, dog, give me a pair of shoes as well.
I like dogs. So, ladies and gents, that is all for Spoiler Alert. If anyone's listening, you're safe from any more spoilers for now. But without further ado, we want to discuss something else.
What if Wolverine's bones were made of chocolate?
What if Doctor Who used his powers to evil?
What if The Simpsons were all topless?
What if Bruce Banner never went to school?
What if... Shut up! Niche Radio tells you what if.
It sure does. And today we're going to discuss what if Jurassic World kind of happened in real life. So who would win? Who would win the ultimate fight between kick-ass dinosaurs and humans?
So my thoughts here was, I'm yet to see Jurassic World. I'm going on Saturday, I believe.
And I've seen it, and it's amazing. I even had a little park ranger lanyard badge that I took with me as a little prop.
I'm more jealous of those than I am that you've seen it before me.
It's amazing. Why haven't you seen it sooner? I mean, this is the same argument we were having about Age of Ultron
Yeah.
only a few weeks ago, because it took me a long time to see Avengers 2. But Jurassic World I saw on the first day, actually. I think that I could see it anyway. And it's incredible.
We were thinking,
Dinosaurs!
so who would win in a fight? Dinosaurs or humans? And the context is not in general like a punching match.
Just slugging it out with a T-Rex. Their reach isn't great, I've got to say.
It's not, but they've got big teeth.
Yeah, and pretty stompy.
Stampy feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a swooshy tail.
And a swooshy tail.
Yeah.
But if Jurassic World Park, all of that happened, was real, we knew about dinosaurs, and they escaped, as they do.
We do know about dinosaurs.
Okay, being alive.
Okay, cool.
Could we quell the problem?
Ooh, quell. I think we could.
Why?
So there. Well, I reckon dinosaurs aren't all that smart. And I mean, okay, in the films, they're not as prepared as they should be for the big angry dinosaurs. But I reckon if it was in the news, like, Jurassic Park breaks out, then apart from, even if all the safety measures and stuff completely failed, then they just call in the army or something, and then that'll be it.
But realistically, there are like alligators and crocodiles which have armored bellies, which can stand on top of a grenade and not really be that affected.
Okay, but
so dinosaurs.
the dinosaurs
were
don't have armored bellies.
Well, tougher. They've got
Some of
thick
them, yeah.
skins.
Yeah, and
Plus, it'd be the flying ones who get out first. They could cause the most damage and get everywhere, destroy things, poke out eyes,
we'd probably end up
eat skulls.
living in kind of harmony with some of them, because you wouldn't be able to kill them all. Well, maybe you could, but it's and who'd want to? Basically, I'd prefer to live in a world with dinosaurs. You just have to kind of watch out for them and be a bit wary in their habitats. Make sure
Creationalist.
Dinosaurs are great.
Dinosaurs are great.
You're a creationist.
You're a creationalist.
What's your favourite dinosaur?
Tough.
This is important. This is what I ask everybody on a first date, Connell.
It changes constantly. At the moment, I've just got a figure of a... Oh, what's my newest one? It's Triceratops. Classic.
Neat. There's some good bits with Triceratopses in Jurassic World.
I went to some arcade in Blackpool, Coral Bay, I think it's called, or Coral Island.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
I wanted lots of tickets on some
Coral
machine.
Island.
Coral Island. It's pop a balloon with a buzzsaw. It was fun. So I took all the dinosaurs when I won all my tickets. So I've now got a even bigger collection of dinosaurs in my house, which I don't think I've shown you yet.
No, I look forward to this collection of dinosaurs.
They're good.
I do like dinosaurs, but yeah, I think humans would win because, well, we're top of the food chain now, and I can't see, even if it is a few hundred dinosaurs that escape from this park, I can't see them doing enough damage for the few billion of us with all the crazy weapons and stuff we've got. I don't think they'd stand much of a chance, which is a shame because I'd prefer to bow down to my dinosaur overlords, if anything.
Yeah. It would
Yeah.
change the world a bit. We'd suddenly have parks, like private dinosaur collections.
Yeah, like the National Trust reservations for Diplodocus or whatever.
That would be good.
Diplodocus.
Diplodocus.
I'd like to ride one. I'd like to ride a dino steed. But then wouldn't we all? Maybe I'm just being. Maybe that's just a kind of an obvious statement.
We could infuse one with miniguns for arms, get them to wear sunglasses
Yeah.
and talk.
Wexter style. We should indeed. And maybe we will. Next show, okay, the what if should be how exactly are we going to make dinosaurs exist again so we can ride them?
I would not like to talk about this because my main peeve about Jurassic World was you have the entire hundreds of millions of years worth of dinosaur history, and you choose to genetically modify one to be the main character.
Yeah, that is.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
They could have found a better way around it, but then humans are flawed, and let's face it, isn't that the story at the core? No, probably not. The story's
No,
dinosaurs. Look at these
dinosaurs are
cool
better.
dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are cool. It's a film about dinosaurs, not hybrids or genetically modifying anything.
Hey, talking of guys that are dead in Game of Thrones.
Hello, this is Ian McElhinney here, Varys and Selmy, The Game of Thrones. Tune into Niche Radio for everything sci-fi, comics, cult television, and gaming. Welcome to the Age of Rat.
You're listening to Niche Radio here on Fab Radio International every Wednesday, 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. If you want to listen again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Niche Radio, or follow us on Twitter at Niche Radio.
Fab Radio.
Three legendary Knights of Niche bring to you events full of fun, gaming, and competitions at Niche Nights.
Okay, so what has been happening locally and geekily in Manchester and the Northwest? Well, absolutely tons. Niche Nights have been pumping out the excellent nights per usual because that's us and we're great. But a big shout out to Mike, who has pretty much solely organised and put on the incredible Tokyo Chipped. This instalment was on the 11th, which was last Thursday, and saw a huge screening of Laputa, Castle in the Sky. Wait, that's not right. That is right. The Studio Ghibli film Laputa. Yeah, that is right. And also incredible sets from Harley Likes Music and Jewel. So some amazing chiptune there. There was also the retro gaming competition and tons more as well. Also, we wanted to mention in our geek scene, we're going to have to wrap it up fairly quickly tonight, but we want to give a big shout out to Geek Pride, the legends who are leviathans on the geek scene. They not only write articles and have an excellent website, very, very busy on social media with opinions and brand new cutting edge news on everything geeky, from gaming to everything else. But also we should talk about more of the new stuff happening in in Manchester at the moment, the Pirate Band. If anyone is a fan of pirates and Pirates of the Caribbean and other things, the Pirate Band have reformed. They are back with a vengeance, with a new lineup, new songs, and they're going to be touring very soon around the Northwest and all of England, and eventually taking over the world, but that be for a later time. And then also in Geek Scene, there is some huge news, which is absolutely incredible. E3, the big gaming meetup, has happened of late. There's been loads and loads of stuff announced, which I shall rattle through because we are running out of time, but this is all amazing stuff. For example, one that I'm very pleased about is the remake of Final Fantasy VII. The original Final Fantasy VII game is being remade in HD, posh graphics, the whole kit and caboodle for PS4. Now, this would be great for me, but unfortunately I'm planning to buy an Xbox One, which was made even better because they've announced that Xbox One will now be given an update to make it backwards compatible, so you'll be able to play your 360 games on your Xbox One, which is absolutely amazing news. If that wasn't enough, it was then announced that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 is now in full swing. They had previously announced it was happening, but now it is balls to the wall. It is going for it. That is going to be released ideally, well, they've penciled in September the 29th, and that'll be coming out on both PS4 and Xbox 360, which is amazing, because I think that's the one game that, you know, most games I could say, Tekken, I say I'm pretty good at, but you've beaten me a few times. Tony Hawk's, though, I'm pretty sure I could kill anybody on it.
You do kick ass at Tekken.
Yeah,
You
but
also kick ass at Tony Hawk.
well, yeah. See, we're pretty much even on Tekken, but yeah, that is kind of the news. Also, there is another thing that this week, some of the new DC comics have got half-page ads, which are obviously adverts in the middle of the page, in the middle of the comic strip, so interrupting the story, and it's basically pissed everyone off.